It's my pleasure from the historic Williamsburg, Virginia East Coast Expo to introduce all the attendees here at Williamsburg to our global panel. And actually the global panel that we have today, all of the panelists were born internationally. Bernadette, the first speaker, is my Team Kaizen mentor. Has been a member of Team Kaizen since its beginning and is a diamond. Bernadette's going to begin with her story of her daughter's health. There's been a major pediatric emphasis here, children's health, with children being our future. Bernadette.
Well, good morning, good afternoon, everybody. It's my pleasure and an honor to be part of this event, and I'm really looking forward to sharing my story. I discovered Nikken almost 17 years ago, and since then it has been an absolutely wonderful journey. As Madeline said, my first interest was health. Health for me is very important, but even more so 17 years ago, because one of my little children was quite sick. I have three beautiful children at that time. They were 4, 5.5, and 7. And my second child, Lauren, was 5.5 years old. And for a year and a half suffered from something very unusual. It was a cough that would not go away. And she coughed nonstop day and night. And that went on for a year and a half. And at that time, what was just wonderful is she had to use an inhaler and unfortunately take a steroid every single day. And that was, getting the problem under control. But that was it. So when a friend of mine introduced me to Nikken, I just was very curious about it. I heard some phenomenal testimonial. I was skeptical because I've never heard of this. But at that time, at that point in time, even though I could be quite analytical because I come from the IT, industry, so I could be quite analytical in times, I was just a mother. And as a mother, I was looking for anything that could help my daughter. That was it. So I followed my instinct and my intuition and decided to embrace this technology that Nikken had at that time. And it was mainly the magnetic. It was the sleep system and some magnetic. So I put the sleep system, little insoles in her shoes, a little pendant around her neck, and I was just waiting for something to happen. I really believed it would. And lo and behold, 2.5 weeks later, the symptom disappeared and there was no more need of the medication. Now, it was just mind-boggling, I'll be honest with you. My husband, who was quite skeptical, was not sure about what was going on, but it didn't matter. Our daughter was back. That's really what it is, because it was terrible to see her getting sicker and sicker. So anyway, that's what I loved. So as a mother, it has just given me back my little girl. I will speak from a mother to other parents here who are listening. This has made my life, raising my children for the last 17 years, so much easier because my children didn't get as sick as before, or I was able just to stop a cold or a flu faster. It was just a way of to me, it's common sense. Nikken solutions are just common sense. It's good sleep, good water, good environmental solution. It's just common sense. So I love it. I love it. To this day, I never explained to my children what those technologies are because it really, to me, didn't matter. But I will tell you this, as my children grew up and are now young adults, they're 25, 24, and 23 almost. When they moved to college, I was wondering what they would do. And as I said, I never explained to this day what the products were because it doesn't matter. And each and every one of them, when it was time to move to college, they took the sleep system and the air and the water and everything else. And I asked them, why are you taking them with you? And the answer was just as simple as that. Oh, Mom, we know exactly what this has done for us in the last 16 years. We are not moving out of the house without any of those. That to me was a testament to what the products are. And what I love is as they moved into their dorm, what was interesting? They gave me back feedback. They said, Mom, it's interesting. All our friends were coming into our dorm room. And so I said, there's something different here. The air is different. The feel was different. And they started to educate their peers. I love that because I really believe that's what Nikken is about. It's not just for the people who have some ailments. It's all about teaching our next generation, helping our children. So that's how I started. I fell in love with Nikken, and I really believe that the Nikken Wellness Home is for everyone around the world.
I remember you sharing with me that you were in a foreign country. You were in Toronto at that time. You didn't know anybody and you were shy. And so what happened to you as far as your career transition?
You know, I swore when I was in corporate for 16, 17 years. I was an IT girl. I'm a very private person. That has not changed. I am who I am. But, and I swore I would never be into anything that's related to sales or anything like this. However, when I believe in something, I have no problem sharing it from the heart. This to me is about sharing it with conviction and from the heart. So as much as I'm very private, and this is one of the first things that my husband told me, when I told him I wanted to really do this, which meant, you know, promote and share Nikken with everybody that I could think of, my husband said two things to me. He said, and at that time we'd been married for 12 years, and he said to me, I've known you so many years, and I know a few things of you. And one of them is, you do not particularly enjoy talking to people. That's not who you are. And secondly, you hate everything that's related to sales. And as far as I can tell, this is all about talking to people, and it will result in sales. And he said to me, I don't know how on earth you're going to be able to do this. And all I could answer was this: I know, but I will find my way, because I believe that what we have is good. And that's really what it is. When I believe that we have something good, I will share it with the world, because and I have. And I really believe that the world needs what we have, you know, not just from the health part of it, but from so much more. This is, when we have something good, why on earth would we not want to share it with other people?
Thank you.
And one thing, and I'll just touch on this a little bit, you know, is this is network marketing. I've never been involved in network marketing company. I didn't even know what it was. My husband was totally against it. Absolutely. And important to realize that we both come from very corporate executive, and he told me, you know, don't even dare talking to anybody we know. Literally. Don't even dare talking to, because for him that was so wrong, you know, in terms of, you know, wrong group of people, wrong ethic, and so he is now, you know, totally has embraced Nikken for years and years, and he believes in Nikken.
And he doesn't mind your international business now.
Yes, we do. But you know, the other thing is, as a mother, which is one of the reasons why when I started Nikken, I decided way before Nikken, I decided to put my career on hold to raise my children, because for me, family is everything. Family is everything. My work in the community is everything. And I really wanted to live my life with, and put my life at the, you know, in the way that I wanted to live it. And that's the reason why I stopped my career. I didn't want my career to rule what I could or could not do, or where I could or could not live.
Thank you.
And Nikken, as a mother, Nikken has allowed me to stay at home for the last 17 years, be part of my children's life. And that has been absolutely phenomenal. And I believe there's so many parents out there who want the same thing. And women in particular, we struggle with career and family, you know, but not just women. And I know Ben will address that.
Yes, that's
more and more, you know, we want, you know, we want what's best for our family, and that's part of the struggle, you know, when we are working. And Nikken allow us to do that, to really live a life, you know, that we can choose and do good at the same time. And that's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Thank you. And a perfect segue to an at-home father who was the managing director of Europe and then the president of the company. He's our youngest top royal diamond. So Ben Woodward, say hello to everybody that's listening in and will in the future, and live here in historic Williamsburg.
Well, welcome everyone. It's a pleasure to be with you all today, and just a real honor to be asked to participate this afternoon by Madeline, and a real thrill to be a panelist with Julie and Bernadette as well. Some of my most favorite ladies in Nikken, I have to say. I'm really it's been an interesting experience for me. I think my journey is very different to most. I've worked in this industry of network marketing for well over a decade in corporate roles. As Madeline said, I was the managing director of Europe. I moved over to the States a couple of years back to become the president of Nikken. And just the changes that we were making with the business, I just had such great confidence in the direction that we were going that I couldn't resist jumping into the field and kind of linking up arm in arm and doing it with you. And the changes that we made, I think outside of the industry probably weren't revolutionary. They may have even seemed common sense. But within our industry, we were ahead of the game. And now we start to see other companies this year starting to make similar adjustments to the way they want to do business. And it's just a thrill to see ourselves at the front of the pack, making the changes that we have done to our business to accommodate more people, help people earn more money, and to attract more and more customers, which I'm thrilled to say we've done. We've doubled the average number of customers coming in every month since these changes were introduced last year. We've doubled the average income of our lower ranks, which are the lion's share of our business. People that come in, because a lot of people will come in and just want to do a little bit. Yeah, and that's great for them to have to feel they can do that and have a much better experience. Of course, the knock-on effect of that is if the vast majority are coming in and having a better experience, what does that do for people at the top over time? Of course, it helps to propel them forwards as well. So it's a win-win-win all around. So I jumped into the field position earlier this year. As Madeline said, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I love being a stay-at-home dad. I'm a father of 7 kids. I'm going to do a quick share screen here and show off my family because I love them to pieces. So here's my family, all 7 of us just before we left the States not that long ago. You can see this guy here is looking very excited to get his picture taken. And times that volume. He's sad to leave the States. But I'm just thrilled that we've all been able to be a part of this journey together. I have to say something though. As I've moved into the field and am now a business builder with Nikken, I've discovered that Nikken has robbed me. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean, I'll tell you what happened this weekend on Monday. It's a public holiday in the United Kingdom where I live, and they have said on the news that tomorrow is going to be the busiest day on the roads with traffic as a result of this long weekend for the entire year. This is the weekend that everyone wants to get away. So how have I been robbed? My wife and I took our kids up to Scotland earlier this week. We did it in the middle of the week versus at the weekend because we can. Because I'm not working Monday to Friday. How have I been robbed? I'm never going to experience a traditional weekend ever again. I have been denied that privilege because now I can take my kids away during the week when we don't have the biggest amount of traffic on the roads for the year and miss out on all of that. We saw the weekend coming up. I had forgotten that it was a public holiday on Monday because it doesn't matter. And that's the great thrill. I have been denied, I have been robbed my public holidays because I get to enjoy them whenever I like. And that to me is just fantastic. That Nikken gives me the privilege of spending my time with my family when I choose. And as a family of 9, there are plenty of opportunities that I may have previously missed out on that I don't need to miss out on anymore. And I'm thrilled with that. But most importantly, here's another big lesson that I've learned as I've jumped into the field and taken on this role of being a field leader, is that what is really critical in our business is that we give people 3 things that are really important. Above and beyond the wellness home, which I know you've been spending a lot of time on, or you will spend a lot of time on this weekend. But we give Nikken, people in Nikken something extra over and above that wellness home, which is life-changing, as Bernadette was sharing. And that is we give people hope, we give them a home, and we give them a place to belong. And those 3 things, I believe, are something that is, I think, too many people in the world are without, and too many people in the world are desperately seeking for. And we give that. We give people a hope. A hope, in literal meaning, is to anticipate something good. There are too many people in the world that don't have that wonderful, beautiful feeling of something good being around the corner for them in their lives. And as a result, they wander aimlessly, they struggle, and they live with a lack of energy and good feelings. The other great challenge is there are too many people that don't feel a sense of home. And that definition of home has evolved over the years. But here in Nikken, it's a place where everyone can belong. Everyone can feel important. Everyone can feel special. Everyone can feel loved. And everyone can feel a place that this is where they can be related to and appreciated and embraced. I love that. And to me, the greatest cause that I get to participate in Nikken is that I get to help people feel like there's something to hope for, something to hope in, and a place where they can belong. And like I said, there are just too many people out there that need that don't have it. And I love, above all of that, that we give them that through the vehicle of the Nikken business opportunity, which gives them a catalyst, a vehicle where they can take greater ownership so that, like me, if they choose, they can become a stay-at-home dad and a stay-at-home mum and spend time with their family, get robbed of their weekends because they can spend their time with their kids whenever they need to. What a great thing to have. And to me, life has never been so sweet as it is right now. And I have to thank Nikken for that, and my family in Nikken, who I always refer to them as, my family that I just adore. And so that's my story, that's my message. If there's anyone out there that wants to belong, that wants a home, that wants to anticipate better things, and wants to have the freedom to spend their life in a way that is most precious to them, then we've got a great home for you to join, and we'd welcome you with open arms.
Well, thank you so much. Now, my pleasure to introduce Julie Tara. She's our longest tenured Royal Diamond on the panel and woman, and has a huge international business. And Julie, everybody here at this seminar in Williamsburg has learned about environmental smog, but we're being zoomed out to the world internationally. This is being recorded and others will be able to listen. So from your energetic perspective, share with us why a wellness home and your story. Your story is very important.
Well, thanks everyone. And it's lovely to be with you. It's a pleasure to be with you, Madeline, and with you, Ben and Bernadette. And I would love to just reiterate everything they already said because it's so pertinent. So yeah, I'm going to a little bit different tack. I'm a bit of a revolutionary type person, and I am not satisfied with the level of health in our world right now. I am seeing further and further problems happening, and very, very serious problems. And those problems aren't just with adults, but with children. And this is a travesty, what's going on. And what I love is to empower people to take back control over their own health for themselves and their family members. And I've been doing that now for over 38 years, 21 of them with Nikken. So I'll tell you a little bit my background. My first career was in ballet, and I did have a back injury from that and quit that fairly early on, and had 3 children and started studying Asian medicine. So my passion for these technologies is, it's the understanding of Asia, the understanding from Japan about why nature and nature's frequencies are so critical for our health. And so I started studying that and then teaching that, doing energy work, and had a big healing center in the early 90s here in Colorado, which then went bankrupt. Now, one of the things with people that are advocates for natural health that you might notice is that a lot of them are very passionate like myself. However, a lot of them are broke or struggling because we don't work in the corporate world. We are self-employed. And we're kind of out there as the rugged individualists, kind of making it happen, bringing forward our values and our beliefs powerfully as best we can. But when you're on your own with it, it's a pretty hard road. And so I got to a point where I really needed to find something that was going to be far more financially viable, but I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom at the same time. So I wanted it all. I'll be honest with you, I always wanted it all. I want total freedom to be who I am, to express myself, and I want the same for others, to be able to be healthy and vibrant and have that in all 5 areas of life: the body, the mind, family, society, and finances as well. And that was the piece I was in pain with, not so much the others. But when I found these technologies, I had not heard of them before. I was a little bit of a snob, I will tell you, with natural healthcare. I was like, that's my domain. I know about this, but I didn't know about magnetic fields and how critical they are for life on this planet. And I had an experience with my back injury in 10 minutes with a Nikken product, the earlier version of a MagFlex. And I went from agony to feeling totally wonderful and normal within about 10 minutes. And that got my attention because I didn't want it to work. And I didn't want network marketing. Why? Because I love my friends and I was scared I might lose them. I knew about network marketing. In fact, I had friends who were millionaires in network marketing, but I never found a technology that I could be really passionate about. So I didn't want this to work, but yet it did. When your body experiences something that your mind doesn't understand, then there's quite a kind of brainstorm that happens. And it was like the lights went on and I thought, everybody needs this. Now, why? Because number one, it's safe. The Hippocratic Oath is first, do no harm. We are not seeing that out there all the time in Western medicine. And I come from a Western medical background. My father was a doctor. My stepfather was a doctor. All my stepbrothers were doctors. And I saw my mother suffer greatly with the use of surgeries and then many, many, many pharmaceutical pills. In fact, I just talked to somebody yesterday whose son has been a heroin addict and is now in jail. And I said, I can remember my mother on pethidine. And she said, I think that's an opiate. And so I came home and looked it up, lovely, wonderful Google, and found out that pethidine indeed is an opiate, and that my mother was actually, you could say, a heroin addict. Then I started looking up the side effects of that, and what were they? Hallucinations, body temperature out of control, but a lot of mental issues. Well, my mother was diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar, had electric shock treatments, was never the same again. And I sat here at this very desk in tears thinking what really happened was my mother became an addict and nobody was helping her get off those pills and be healthy in a normal, natural way. Our technologies are safe. First, do no harm. Safety is critical. They are highly, highly effective. They're used all over the world, but not very popular and not very well known in the Western world. But in Asia, India, Africa, you could go a million places. Egypt, ancient times, the Celts, the Aboriginals used these frequencies of nature to help us to heal. If you give the body back what it needs, it will heal itself. So safety and effectiveness are really important. Non-invasive and non-chemical, highly important in a world that is wanting to chemicalize you with whatever so fast, right? The amount of drugs used now is unprecedented, especially in America. But also very convenient to use. You sleep, great. Sleep in a magnetic sleep system and well-being is yours. Drink water. We hope you drink water. Well, great. Drink this water instead of that water and you'll thrive. Breathe air. You better. I better. So let's breathe good air, not bad air. You see, it's not complicated. It's earth, air, fire, water, nutritional, skincare, everything organic, everything pure, everything that I believed in already before, except some of those things I didn't know about. Now, the biggest problem that has, the newer problems that have just kind of arisen in the last years have been GMOs, big issue, chemicals, unprecedented. A baby's born now with over 240 chemicals in their body already from the umbilical cord. That is outrageous. And also EMF fields. We love to use our cell phones, our smartphones, our computers and everything, but there is a field attached to that is not good for us. And we have to grow up and realize that that is really something we must look into. And there's been new studies just came out a couple of months ago on, cell phones, mobile phones, and brain cancer. I'm sure you all saw it, breaking news, but that's not really new news. That news has been around for a long time. So you got to delve deep to find the truth about things, and we need protection and prevention. So we're looking at these technologies simply to say, we're having these frequencies that are alien to the human energy system, and we're all made up of energy. We're all electrical, actually. So we've got to give back our body what it needs. You wouldn't take a hairdryer from America, take it to England and plug it in. It would blow up. But that's what we're doing when we're in front of EMF frequencies all the time. We're blowing up our own energy system. And we need to trip that switch. So we've got to give back what the body was designed to have, which is the magnetic field of the earth, far infrared energy of the sun, full spectrum lighting, these simple things, negative ion rich air, alkaline water, and so forth. So this is what I'm passionate about. Very passionate about empowering women. And I think I'm just going to say that for me, it's not just about the technologies, it's about making a huge impact in the world. And that here's a privilege that you can actually make a huge impact in the world and restore your own health financially, which is what happened for me very, very quickly, which is what I needed without sacrificing my family to do it. So I'm super passionate about that, super passionate about people becoming champions of their own lives and not living in victimhood, because I think we all have the ability to be champions, but it takes ruling the lower self to go to the greatest part of ourselves and really bring our creativity to the fore. And that's what we do in Nikken. It's very, very creative business, finding your team players and working with them. So, you know, the world is your oyster. Nobody knows about us. We're about 1/4% market penetration. The world deserves to know about us. And it's up to us to share this with the world, share this good news, bring hope back, and belong to a family that believes in the same things that you do. I think that's super important, what Ben said about a home that you can belong in, a tribe. I always looked for that tribe, and here it is. So thanks, everybody, and have a fabulous time learning and exploring, and just open your mind, open your heart to what's possible for you here.
We have about 3 minutes left, and I didn't start out by introducing myself. I'm Madeline Zwaroski. I 51 years ago started nursing. Have 12 years of formal credentials in the alphabet after my name. But what I wanted to do today, I would like to thank Barb Satterwhite, another nurse who invited me to be here. What I wanted to share with Barb is what so many of us have learned, being able to leverage Zoom and to leverage an ABC. So I thought, what's better than to bring in our top field leaders who have wonderful family stories to share and a vision. What I'd like to end with, and then I want to come back for 15 seconds for each of you, so you can be thinking about your last 15-second point. I'm going to share the screen. Our topic this afternoon is why a wellness home, why now, and why Nikken. And I'll end it with my healthcare experience. This is a picture of a wellness home. 20 years ago, a very good nurse colleague, when I lost my corporate vice president position that I spent so many years preparing for, she called me immediately telling me all about her heart being better, which I didn't believe her. But she was persistent. For 2 more years, she contacted me. I finally met her. And when I saw her, I couldn't believe it. So one tip, meet the person either on Zoom or in person, so that you can share from the heart. Now, by the time I walked away, I was planning on returning all my tapes to her. I walked away and purchased the first product the company ever made, these insoles, retail. So I was a retail customer. And then by the time I got home, I had a product experience, slipping them in my shoes. And I knew she told me had been telling me about the business for 2 years and her brother's success and others' success. And I didn't like laying off 300 employees, closing a hospital, and then my reward was my downsizing. The only kind of work at that time that all those credentials prepared me for was to go back and do that to others. So when I saw the opportunity to do what I've always done, increase awareness. The definition of nursing is to share hope, to help people achieve the highest level of wellness, but nurses don't do that. We distribute pills, we have cell phones up to our heads, and we get downsized because we're too expensive. They use lesser care healthcare practitioners. So I got so excited, and today, 18 years later, as Julie just mentioned, and as you can hear by tuning into one of the other showcases or those that were here in Williamsburg Live, I want to compliment the committee. It has been an excellent event. Today, as was mentioned earlier, each of us can make a choice. Our choice may be our health, self-care. You can tune in to Dr. Gary and learn all about self-care matters. Our choice could be healthy mind, and we can grow as an individual. Our choice can be healthy finances in society by sharing with others and creating a grassroots movement. A healthy family, I have 5 seconds or 5 seconds, okay. Oh, only 5 seconds, my goodness. We can, as an individual and a collective group of individuals, make an impact. Healthy family is the root of a healthy society, and we can help create a healthier world. 1 second for each of you. Ben, let's start with you, our president. What could you say in 2 seconds?
Gosh, I would say, as you look at the different categories of products that Nikken has, to air, water, sleep, nutrition, light, name one category that you think you could live without. You'll find that you can't. That means that we've got something that everyone can do with. Everyone can participate in some way. And that just gives us a wonderful opportunity to do good. And a good life that, if you want to feel good, comes from going about doing good to others. And what a great thing to be involved in. Thank you. Bernadette?
My gosh, I always say to add to this is we cannot, this is really becoming a spokesperson of what we believe in. So as Ben said, we need those 5 elements. And the beauty is, become a walking testimony. And look at the facts. Nikken has been around for 41 years. So obviously it works. The products are not in question. It works. And what I believe about Nikken is it's universal solution to universal concern. Stress is universal, physical, financial, and we have solution. We can help people all around the world.
Julie.
I think I would just maybe ask yourself the question, what if? What if this has been the thing you've been looking for, the thing you've been praying for? It is for many people. Almost all of us came to this because we prayed for something, for help, whether it was financial help we needed or physical help like Bernadette's daughter or whatever. What if? And look at your life 5 years down the road. And this is what I did. And I said, if I keep doing the same thing that I'm doing now, 5 years down the road, where am I going to be? And I didn't like what I saw. And when I found Nikken, I looked down the road 5 years and I said, I'm going to be rocking this world with these technologies, and I'm going to be free by helping others be free.
Thank you so much. Can the audience here clap live for our international panel? Thank you so much.